Hi, I'm Becky, and this is Thriller. Welcome to the Bookish Vegan. This is my brand new blog combining my two favorite hobbies in the world, reading and plant-based cooking. I have a lot of friends that ask me about plant-based recipes and how to get started and what books to be reading, so I've decided to combine them into one place. So welcome to the very first video of the plant-based cooking extraordinaire. I will be highlighting Pride, Prejudice and Other Flavors by Sonali Dev, and I'll be cooking vegan butter chicken. Are you ready? Maybe. These are the ingredients you will need to make vegan butter chicken. We have ginger and garlic. You can cut them whole, or you can be lazy like me and get the squeeze bottles, because sometimes you just don't want to cut it. We have black pepper, salt, cinnamon, cardamom seed, cayenne pepper, ground cumin, curry powder, ground allspice, and ground cloves. Get all those spices going for the vegan chicken. Olive oil, cornstarch, white rice. I'm going to be using medium grain white rice. You can really use anything you want to use. Some earth balance. I like to use soy-free. Tomato paste, white onions, coconut milk, and some scallions that will go on top of our rice. And most importantly, our extra firm tofu. I'm going to plug this tofu real quick. This is Jenny's Tofu made by Phoenix Bean, which is actually right here in Chicago. I adore them. I discovered them at the farmer's market and realized that their whole factory is right here. You can find them at Andersonville Farmer's Market, Green City Market, Glenwood does it as well, or you can order straight from them. My favorite thing about them is some of their tofu is so firm, you don't even have to press it. So our first step is to set the oven to 400 degrees. We have to put our fan on because if we don't, it gets too hot and the fire alarm goes off. So we put the fan on. So the next thing I'm going to do is, because I'm lazy and I think rice tastes better in the rice maker, I'm going to use the rice maker. So what you do is you do a 2-to-1 ratio. So we'll do 2 cups of rice to 3 cups of water. If you don't have a rice maker, I highly recommend it because it just makes things speedier, especially if pre-pandemic you were a very busy person doing many things like we all were. Things are a little different for a lot of us now, but it just makes things easier, and I just feel like every time I make rice on the stove, I burn it. So this is just a way for me to know that the rice is going to be done unburned. So I'm going to put that right in, and then we're going to do 2 cups of water. Welcome to my home. It's real, it's messy. And that was 2 cups. That's 3. And then we just shut it. And my favorite part, rice, cook. Here is our gorgeous turmeric tofu by Phoenix Bean. You can use as much as you want. So we are going to just slice it in long strips. Look how firm, we don't even need to press. And then we just tear it off like little chicken bites. Here we go. The great thing about Pride, Prejudice and Other Flavors is the whole book really does center around food and people eating and enjoying food and living, making a career out of food is a huge part of it, in Indian flavors. For all my Jane Austen fans out there, I highly recommend, because my favorite thing about the book is that they do some role switching. You know, in the original we have Elizabeth and Darcy, and in this one we have similar characters, but the male and female roles from the original book are switched, and I loved seeing those differences. Plant-based. Ba-bam. Next, to get our nice kind of chickeny coating, we're gonna put the tofu little nugs in the plastic bag. It's trying to get away. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, my very best friend. Except, I love cornstarch because the way it thickens things is so amazing, especially for plant-based recipes. It really adds that flavor that coating, the texture that we can miss sometimes. But man, it's a mess. Here it is. This is real. This is me. Then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of olive oil. No. one more. You can use whatever salt you want. We have pink Himalayan salt that's actually so big for the cabinet, it makes it hard to close the cabinet. So we're gonna use this one. And you're supposed to use half a teaspoon. I'm just kind of gonna go for it. I'm gonna wing it. Seems all right. Shake, 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 shake. Get it all nice. Get the oil, the starch, everything broken up. Get every piece coated. Woohoo! Then we're gonna put a piece of parchment paper on our baking sheet, and we're just gonna line up all the little tofu nugs, and we are gonna bake for 20 to 30 minutes. Another reason I really liked Prejudice and Other Flavors is, you know, we talked about an immigrant Indian family coming to America, that they were royalty in India, and then coming to California, where that was not the case, and how they built themselves up. And I thought seeing people of color in power in that way, especially telling a Jane Austen story, so effective. Here's our full baking sheet of tofu nugs. We're gonna put them right in the oven in 25 to 30 minutes. Our oven gets pretty hot, so it'll probably be 25 for us. Now we get to make the sauce. All right. So I always use a cast iron for cooking. I just think it always makes everything really hot and delicious. And also for my plant-based friends, I know I have really low iron. And if you eat on a cast iron, you automatically are getting iron from the pan. So that's very exciting. What we're doing here is we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of vegan butter. Delicious. Look at it go. You can also use olive oil and get that melted. All right, we're gonna add our onions. Get them in that butter. Turn it down a little bit. I'd say medium heat. We want these onions translucent though, not too brown. So we're gonna do our onions for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then we add about 2 cloves of garlic. I love garlic. I love garlic so much. So I'm just gonna go for it and do a little more. You do what you need. And then get that squeezed ginger. For ginger, you do about a tablespoon. Again, I'm just gonna go for it. Great, so we're gonna get that moving and shaking. Okay, it is spice time. If you don't have all these spices at your home, that's totally cool. There's a lot of times where I'm following a recipe or creating something where I'm like, I don't have that at my house and I'm not able to go get it right now. So I just kind of go with it. That's the great thing, is you can kind of just pick what spices you want. I will say though, as a plant-based enthusiast and vegan, that spices save your life, because there's so much flavor you get from meat, from dairy, that you won't always get, and you have to create it yourself. So our onions are looking gorgeous. Cumin. So that was about half a teaspoon. Do a little cayenne pepper. Do another half a teaspoon. A little cinnamon. A little cardamom. A little cloves. A lot of curry powder. Pepper. And salt. The food in Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors sounded so unbelievable. And one thing, they do cook with a lot of meat in the book, but I know from my experience at Indian restaurants in Chicago that they're in India as well, they eat a lot of vegetarian food. So there are many vegan options. I was thinking about while I was reading, oh, that sounds delicious. I wonder how I can make that vegan. So now we are gonna add 3 ounces of tomato paste, which is half of a 6-ounce can. Then we're gonna put all the coconut milk in. Woohoo! Gorgeous. It looks like a painting. Oh, it's perfect. And what I love about this Phoenix tofu is that it puffs. It's really delicious, and there's turmeric already on it, which is going to be really tasty. Sonali Dev, who wrote Pride, Prejudice and Other Flavors, also has other books based on Jane Austen books. I know her one about persuasion just came out recently while we were in quarantine, and I can't wait to get my hands on them. All right, so our chicken is in. Here we go. We're mixing it up. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Here's our glorious rice in the rice cooker. I'm gonna shout to the heavens one more time. Buy a rice cooker. It will change your life. We're gonna put this butter chicken right on top. Woohoo! And then I'm gonna throw some scallions on there. Please keep in touch. Let me know if there's a book with a recipe idea that you have and you might want me to make it. I'm so glad you joined me. Thank you to Dina for filming. Oh my God. And Kimberly, who's editing this video. Everybody rocks. Go read a book. Go change the world.